Hey guys, the Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Three Jokers, the Comedian, question mark? Now, for those of you who don't know, this guy is a GameStop slash Walmart exclusive, question mark? And the whole reason I got him is because A, he was on sale on GameStop.com. He was about $3-4 off. And I got some Christmas cash from Mr. Brian's family, so shout out to them for that. And for tomorrow, we're going to be taking a look at this beefy boy right here. So, yeah, just a bit of a tease of what's to come, because that is fun. But getting into the meat and taters of this review, this guy comes with the traditional collectible trading card. Now, the whole thing with the Three Jokers is there's like two imposter Jokers, and then there's the actual Joker, who's apologetic apparently, and feels bad about what he's done before. So, yeah, interesting. This is a pretty expansive wave, too. There's this guy, of course. This is the main Joker. Kind of based off the Killing Joke, although I always thought Killing Joke Joker had the Hawaiian shirt and like the white t-shirt underneath, and then his purple Joker pants and the hat and whatnot, but I guess I could be wrong. And then there's also the Death in the Family Joker, which I think is the criminal, and then the classic kind of golden era Joker, which is the clown. I think this guy's the comedian, and then the clown, and then the criminal, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it is. And those figures are actually starting to hit target right now, along with Batgirl, and there's also a Red Hood and a Batman, but I have not seen those, which sucks, because I'd actually like the Batman to go with this Joker. I think he'd be really good match for him, but I digress. Taking a look-see at the Joker here. He's got one kind of loose foot. I'm not crazy about that, but it's whatever, I suppose. There are ways around that. I've never showed this on cam, but you can take these feet and you can kind of rotate them around. Kind of dip. And there you go. That kind of helps level them out. Wow, that's actually really effective. Comes with the black stand. We're used to seeing. Yeah, wow, I had his foot backwards. Well, the ball hinge was backwards. It was nice and tight this way, and it's level with the other foot. So, there you go. That said, though, he does come with a couple of accessories. He's got a crowbar, which I'm sure you're all sick of seeing at this point. Every Joker in this wave comes with a freaking crowbar. Come on, Warner Bros. You gotta lift that gun ban at some point. The Joker's not real. And even then, most of his guns have a little flag that sticks out that says bang on it. Like, if you want to recall it because of a sex joke, fine. But, don't, pull guns because it's going to encourage violence. 1/12 scale, what is it? Glock or a Desert Eagle or a Magnum or a pistol or whatever is not going to frickin' inspire someone to go be Deathstroke, the Terminator, or the Punisher, or whatever. That's ridiculous, but whatever. What do I know? He also comes with a camera, which actually says Joker on it. If you can read that. Pretty cool. It's got the back, and it's got the strap. Seems a little big, but cameras used to be that big, I believe. So my camera's pretty big, so, I don't think that's too out of reason. And then we have the Joker himself. Look at that face. That is one evil son of a bitch right there. Although this is not the evil Joker in the comic, to my understanding, this is like a good guy Joker. Or he is a good guy in this comic. It's probably why Red Hood and Batgirl are in it, because, Killing Joke and Death in the Family. But I will say the one thing I don't care for is the arms do not sit down all the way. Now, I'm not sure if you were to cut some of this or sand this down, this little lump here, you would be able to flatten the arms out. Because they do stick out kind of weird. I mean, that's not ideal. It's not a relaxed pose. It's kind of a bummer, too, because this Joker would look so much better if his arms could sit straight down, but alas, they can't. This is one of the better Joker figures I think we've gotten from McFarlane, though. I do think, again, he would look better with the arms down. So, articulation on this guy. His head can look up pretty far. Not too shabby. His head can look down. His hat is soft, so it'll get out of the way for you. Kind of wish it was a little bit more dense, but it helps to get the camera on, I guess. So does having the ability to pop the head off, but I would not advise that without some heat. He does have some rotation in there. Not too bad. Does tilt. So a decent range there. Shoulders go out to the side. This shoulder, no ratchet really to speak of. This shoulder, a little bit. Not a ton. He's got the butterfly ball joint thing going on in there. Which I almost wonder if that's not why I can't get his arm down. Well, that arm goes down okay, and then this arm, it must just be warped or something, because I feel like it should go down further than that. I don't know. But either way, his arms go up and down and all that noise. And then he's got double jointed elbows, which have good range, but they look ugly as sin when you use them. So, if you don't like the way it looks, don't use them. He's got a bicep swivel, which not really a good way to get around that other than tweak the sculpt so it's got, doesn't have this giant wrinkle in it. Marvel Legends, I think, has one of the better bicep cuts on a sleeved arm as far as, jacket characters go. The Gambit and the Spider-Man Noir have really good bicep cuts, and they have, the trench coats and whatnot going on. Which is really a trench coat? I would think it'd have to go down to his feet for it to be considered a trench coat. It seems too short, but I could be wrong. He does have the ball hinges in the wrists. I did have to have my dad go in here with the nail clippers and clip some schmutz off so this hinge would work. Because the joint, in true McFarlane fashion, because you can't really pop the hands out, it popped apart. But there was a big chunk of mold flash in there, and was keeping the hand from being able to move. So we just went in there and fixed that quick, and it works fine now. So a shout out to him for that. I will say, if you want to use the waist at all, you're going to want to lift the coat up here. Make him look like that iconic Marilyn Monroe poster or movie or whatever, where the wind's blowing up her skirt. And you can get in here. He's got a nice ball joint in there that works. Okay. It does rotate. It rotates pretty smooth. I wouldn't say there's much you need to worry about here. There is a crunch. It is very minimal, though, because of how thick the coat is. But, yeah, it's It's kind of tricky because the diaper is not solid. It's a rubbery piece. You don't have a whole lot to grab onto, so you're just gonna have to take that for what it's worth. He doesn't really have much as far as torso articulation goes. He's got a little bit of crunch, just a little bit, but the coat is very, very restrictive and it's not open. So if anything, maybe they could have had this open, or just had this been a separate piece. Because I only assume that this guy utilizes the same mold as the other two Joker figures, even down to the arms. But as far as his hips go, they do kick out, but again, the coat's going to get in the way here, so let's just peel that up again. Try not to stress it out in the middle there. It shouldn't happen, but, you've been warned. But he does kick out a little bit. He does kick forward and back. He's got a thigh cut that actually works okay. It's not terrible. It goes more in than it does out, so whatever good that's going to do you. His knees will bend pretty good. This guy doesn't have the worst joints, but they don't need to be like raised, the kneecaps and whatnot. There's no real need for that. Yes, it looks better when he's just standing up and down, but when you want to pose the thing, and when you put 22 plus points of articulation on a figure, I would assume you would want him to look good posed and neutral, right? And then he does have a hinge in the foot with the rocker and swivel, and he's got a toe hinge, but it's not too loose on this guy, thankfully. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Killing Joke Joker. I feel like this hole is bigger or something. That's why this arm can go down to his side just about. I don't know what's up with this side. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna pull a coat down. Maybe it's just warped. I have no idea. It looks a little warped on this side. It's definitely not like two of the same parts like sometimes I get. A lot of the time. Hasbro, I'm looking at you, not knowing your right from your left. You wackadoos. Yeah, it's a cool figure. I don't know if I'd say it's the best Joker. I actually had slightly higher expectations for this guy. But, such is life. But he doesn't. I wouldn't say really. He definitely doesn't exceed my expectations, but he doesn't really let them down either. So I guess there is that. I mean, Joker's not. I love the Joker. Joker's cool and whatnot. Mark Hamill, Cesar Romero, my favorites, but Jack Nicholson is a close third. I know I'm not mentioning your favorite, but that's too dang bad. This is my channel. Heath Ledger. But I'll be real with you. He's just not been one of my favorite characters of all time. I always think that someone says the Joker's their favorite. It's like, I'd like to know why, as opposed to just because it's the Joker. Because I feel like it's like Deadpool. You have to have a reason to like Deadpool. You can't just like Deadpool, because he's just so overpopulated. What's the word? Not overdone, but he's just everywhere, Same with Boba Fett. People like Boba Fett, and it's like, why do you like Boba Fett? It's like he didn't do crap in the movies, but luckily we are getting a show about him, so hopefully that makes up for it. I hope it does, because I'd like to like that character more than I do, because really I just think he looks cool. We are not talking about this figure, right? Ah, boy, going on a tangent. But at any rate, you know what I mean. The Joker's not one of my top favorites, but I do like him still. He's a cool character, but again, not. I wouldn't say he's in my top 5 DC villains, to be honest with you. That's more like Ares and Scarecrow and Bane and Doomsday and Black Manta, maybe. Which, if you know me, you know that that's my speed, so, you know. But at any rate, with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here's our new-ish. Is this guy new? I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. Killing Joke / Comedian Joker next to the closest Batman I had sitting around. This is the Target exclusive. Another exclusive. Oh, the fatigue. But the Target exclusive at Dark Knight's Metal Batman. This one's more accurate to the comic book cover art that this original figure was based off from. That figure, of course, being a part of the Merciless Wave. And I would say the scale on them is probably okay. That Batman's a little bit on the pre-pose side. Can't stand up straight the best anyways. So, yeah, I think that's probably okay. But there is a Batman in this line, so I would probably advise you just try and track that down and pick it up. And then, for your Joker comparison, the closest one I had was the Arkham Asylum one, which is the same base body as the Rebirth Joker. I do not have the White Knight Joker, though I would like to get that eventually, because I do have all the other White Knight figures. But since this guy is on the same base body as the Rebirth Joker, I figured he was the next best thing. I know not everyone liked that figure, but I gotta tell you, I think this is still a decent Joker if you're into the video game stuff. I think the head sculpt in particular has a lot of character to it. But much like this guy not being able to put his arms down, this guy can't move his legs in all the way. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess. Pick your poison at this point, because you're either going to have legs that don't go in enough or arms that don't go in enough, which that might just be a thing with this version of the Joker. I don't know if the other 2 Jokers from this 3 Joker set have the whole arms sticky outy, almost like a Scarecrow thing going on or not, but speaking of which, can we get another Scarecrow figure, particularly the one from Injustice 2? He was voiced by Robert Englund, and that is cool. And last, but certainly not least, we have our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibulus, and the MK11 Spawn, who as usual, yep, towers over everyone. Had to do a double take there. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do have a couple of minute issues with this particular version of the Joker from the 3 Jokers line, particularly with the lack thereof / pain in the buttness that is the torso articulation, and the fact that the arms don't sit flush against the body like I'd prefer, this is still a really solid Joker figure from the DC Multiverse line. And if you're looking to get a good Joker figure, I think this guy or one of the other 2-3 Jokers figures will suit your fancy. Although I will say, of the 3, I think this guy suffers the least from the lack thereof paint apps that we've been seeing with this line as of late. Probably due to the trench coat, or overcoat, or whatever you want to call that. I don't know. I still think a trench coat should go down to your feet, but that's just me. So with that being said, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. Again, if you're looking for a good pseudo-classic comic-style Joker, I think this is a good one to get. And I would definitely recommend you pick him up off GameStop.com. He's on sale. You get free shipping after X amount of dollars. And they ship pretty quick. I got this guy really, really fast. Got him in like 2 days flat. So, not too shabby. So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Because we got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.